Hello again and welcome to another video from the Marketing Study Guide. In this video I'm going to have a look at the three models that you come across in textbooks for the segmentation, targeting, positioning sequence. Sometimes you'll see it as differentiation in there as well, but just to work through the differences. My name's Jeff and I'm a long-term marketing lecturer and practitioner. So as you probably know, what we're trying to do with the overall segmentation process is get to this point. We want to improve our business performance. How do we do that? Instead of going after the entire market, we put the market into groups, which we call segments. They are related in some marketing way. We then, from this group of segments, we pick one or more of those to be our target markets, and then we build our marketing efforts around the needs of that segment, and that should deliver improved performance. Okay, so what are the three models that we would typically see? I'm calling the first one the basic STP model, and then STDP, and then the full process. So these two are summaries of the full process. So let's have a quick look at them. STP, obviously S stands for segmentation, which is our first step. We segment or group the consumers into like sets. T is target market, targeting, selecting targets. That's our second step. That's from our segments. Which ones do we go after? And then for the third one, it is positioning. So once we've chosen a target market where we're going to compete, we then decide how we're going to compete, how we're going to do well in that marketplace. And STP is what we build our marketing mix around. So the step 4, which is not one of the letters, but once we've got positioning, we construct our marketing mix, our products, etc., and we execute that positioning. So our marketing mix is designed for the needs of this target market, and it's designed to execute and implement our positioning. The second one has the letter D in it, so it's exactly the same, but it includes differentiation. So between targeting and positioning is differentiation. Now in some textbooks, positioning and differentiation are the same concept because positioning is how we're perceived relative to our competition. So there needs to be a point of difference. But just to make sure we don't miss that step and making it very, very clear that how important it is, some textbooks will say, hey, we need to include D and we need to differentiate. And again, that becomes part of how we're competing. So just to recap the difference between positioning and differentiation. So positioning is how we want to be seen. It's our image, it's our reputation. Often it's built around key benefits in the marketplace. So when people think of our brand, they go, that brand is good for this, or it's better on that, or it's really good at that sort of thing. And we want it to be relative to competition. So people can judge, or consumers can judge our brand versus competing brand and when ours is more suitable, etc. So it's all about how we want consumers to understand our product, what we have, what all about our key benefits, and how we stand out from competitors. And that leads us into differentiation, or I've got the words PODs there, which are points of difference. So it's just how we are unique and different. It's a foundational aspect of marketing. We need to offer something different in the marketplace. It doesn't have to be necessarily better, but something that's unique that only our products or our brands have. So if a customer wants that, or a consumer is looking for a particular benefit, then we become the go-to solution. Okay? So we must provide unique meetings of customer needs somewhere, which is differentiation. And in some textbooks, that's called a point of difference. So our positioning is made up of two things. One is points of parity, POPs, things that we have in common to our competitors, and they're foundational benefits or features that all consumers expect to find in the product category. And then we have something different about us, what's unique. Okay, so if we go to the breakfast cereal aisle at a supermarket, people are expecting it to be tasty, relatively easy to use, something that provides some nutritional value. They're foundationals that Every cereal will have their points of parity, and then where do we stand out? Its shape, its characters, its flavors, its textures, etc. What's different about its preparation? Okay, so the difference is simply this model here includes differentiation. The second model that you see just splits those two things out. The model is essentially the same. So now let's have a look at the full process. Now, we've already been through the mechanics of it by looking at those two. So these are the 9 steps. It looks a bit more complex, but it's pretty well similar. So the first thing is, what market are we in? Okay, so that sounds a bit weird to say we sell for a takeaway food shop, we do fast food. Are we in the burger market? Are we in a restaurant market? Are we in a takeaway market? So are we a national player? Are we a local player, etc.? So we're just defining the overall market that we're looking at. Then we would segment the market, which is what we had before. So that was the S before. And then we evaluate those segments, make sure they're suitable for use. And I've got a separate video that covers all of that if you want to check out that criteria approach. So we just want to make sure, tick, 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 yes, these segments make sense and we can use them. Then we build profiles, segment profiles. So for each segment, we've gone through and we've done an analytical process and we've put them into groups and they all seem to be logical. But now we build them out and we build a story and we build perhaps a brand persona and we get a lot of information about those segments. And then we go through and go, okay, we know all about these segments now. Let's do some attractiveness rating, and we have a series of questions. And again, I've got a separate video on that where we go through and say, that's good, not so good, that's fantastic, not so sure. And then that gives us assessments of each segment. And then we go, okay, that one's the best for us at this point in time. So we select it, which is our T from before. And then we've got our P and D here where we have the target markets. We know a lot about them from the segment profiles. And then we build positioning and differentiation. And at this point, we're taking into account our competitors. And then finally, we execute our marketing mix to make all this happen. So our product mix and all our other supporting marketing mix. And then from time to time, perhaps on an annual basis, we'll have a look and go, gee, we're doing well, we're not doing so well. If we're doing well, we continue on. If not, we go, okay, let's revisit some of this, and maybe it's a different segment, a different target market. Maybe we need to know more about them. Maybe we need to change our positioning, our marketing mix, etc. Okay, so these are the 9 steps that we had before that I've just shown you, and here are the 4 steps with the D in there. So these are the 3 market segments: target market, positioning, differentiation. The rest build around us. Okay, so we have to go through a few more steps to make sure we execute this. So here, segment, evaluating, constructing segment profiles. That's all part of segmentation. Evaluate the attractiveness and target market is the same thing. It's all about how do we choose the right target market. And here is the execution side of it, positioning and the marketing mix. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Please check out my other videos on YouTube and please subscribe to the channel.